Welcome to the Know Before You Go Travel Show, where we share all the latest travel tips, tricks, and insights to make your next vacation the best one yet. So sit back, relax, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the show with Penyak Travel's George Penyak and our senior travel consultant, Janet Penyak.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Know Before You Go Travel Show, and we are super glad you're here with us today. It is a Sunday, beautiful day here on the eastern side of the United States, and one thing interesting about today's show is I'm flying solo, so all you got is George. This is all you got. It's just me. Janet, our senior travel agent, is in Turks and Caicos, and she left me here to hold the fort down. Her and about a handful of our agents are there, and our agency's being honored at their annual Sandals Resorts has an annual event every year, and we're being honored this year at their annual event for the partnership that we have with them, and they really appreciate the amount of bookings that we do with them. We do a lot of business with Sandals. We think it's a phenomenal product, and it really is. It seems to be a superior product to a lot of all-inclusive resorts out there. And it's still being a superior product. It still comes in at a great value. So we do a lot of business with them. They seem to always deliver for our clients, and because of the amount of business we do with them, we're being honored at their annual event here. So very cool. I didn't want to go. I said, hey, take some of our agents. Our agents are just as hardworking as Janet is. And we think it's really cool that she's there. And I called her earlier. I was like, maybe I'll do a call-in show. Maybe I'll call her in and we can talk about what she's doing there and the resort. But they're having way too much fun. They were at the swim-up bar, and I was like, hey, maybe it's not appropriate for a podcast from the swim-up bar. But shout out to Janet and the team. I'm super proud of all of them. They've been working very hard all year, and it's an honor to receive this recognition and the award. For the partnership we have with them. So shout out to our clients, too, that have gone to Sandals. We always get a lot of good feedback from you guys on it. But anyways, you got George. This is me. This is it. I'm literally in the studio by myself. It's really weird. I've never done a podcast completely alone, but I'm looking around the room. I've got all these other mics set up, and no one's there. It's just me. But that's okay. That's okay. We can roll with it. I think we'll still have a great show. My better half isn't here, but I think we'll still have a really good show. So what I want to talk about on the podcast today is how to handle what to do when your flight gets delayed, how to handle a delayed flight. And let's just say there's a lot of scenarios that can happen when you have a flight that's delayed. You can either miss your connection, you can miss an important event, but there's a number of ways to handle this specific situation at the airport. And I fly a ton. I've probably done about 140 flights all year. So 140 flights, that's up and down 140 times. And you do that many flights in 1 year, you're going to be delayed a lot. So I've had more than my fair share of delays. And one thing that's funny, you always hear people say, "Oh, I hate United," or "I can't stand American," or "Delta sucks." And everyone's got that one airline that they rely on. And then you always typically have another airline that you can't stand if you're a frequent traveler. And one thing I say to that is, listen, every airline's got their problems. They do. All of them do. There's not the perfect airline. You're going to have luck with one and bad luck with another. It's just random. I don't know why it works like that, but I've flown every major airline out there in the United States, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. But how do you handle being delayed no matter what airline you're on? So one piece of advice I would have, first of all, before you're even delayed, even if you don't travel that much, I highly recommend become a member of one of the airline's frequent flyer mile programs. That will help you a lot in situations like this. If you can show your loyalty in any way, saying, hey, I've flown on American or I've flown on Delta X amount of times, and here's my account, that is still going to go further than never flying with someone at all or really flying with someone sparingly. So try to pick one that is close to what we do, or what I do personally is, I live in the Southeast, and so we have a couple American hubs. Charlotte is our closest American hub, and so because of proximity, it's very easy for me to fly American, so I choose to go with American. And when I have a delayed flight, for me, who frequents American Airlines all the time, it's easy to work through that. I have a little bit more of their ear just because of the sheer volume and business that I do with them. Now, let's just say you don't have a specific airline that you frequent or you fly a lot. Say you do one vacation a year and you just pick the best price flight, which a lot of people do. The main thing you want to do, two things. One is you have to recognize in a delayed flight situation that the attendants at the gate have a lot of power. They can help you. You want to be super, super, super nice. You do not want to be frustrated or, let your frustrations out on the gate attendant, because they have a lot more pull and power and can really help you through a tough situation. And so you don't want to come off as like you're beating them up like this is their problem. Because a lot of times, honestly, the main reason flights get delayed is weather. A lot of it's weather related. These planes are coming in from multiple places all over the country. And whether there's weather problems in the airport you're in or weather problems in the airport that plane that you're supposed to be on is taking off from, you can have a delay. So that's number one you need to remember, is that you always have to be as pleasant as possible and as nice as possible, because there's airline gate agents and customer service agents, in a situation where there's weather at an airport, like a bad weather and there's a lot of flights delayed, they're getting beat up. And so if you can come in with a smile and just be happy and pleasant, ask them how their day's going, and just be super, super, super nice, it'll go so much further. I've seen some really awful people just say nasty stuff to the flight agents, the gate agents, and then they ask them for help, and the gate agent's is like, you just verbally abused me for 30 seconds. I'm not going to help you. And I don't blame them, because, sometimes people can be so unreasonable to these poor gate agents. And a lot of times it's weather-related, and they simply can't control it. But one thing they can do is help you. So it's a moment for you to shine personally and say, okay, I'm going to be super nice to this person. They're having a rough day. Clearly there's a lot of delays. Super nice. That is step one. Step two is try to be as flexible as you can. So when you're going to ask for help, ask for all of your options. Get creative. And one thing I always like to do before I even approach the gate agent is I like to do my own research and see what flights are out there. So let's just say I'm flying from Charlotte to LA, or let's just do something tropical. It's the No Before Travel Show. Let's say you're going from Charlotte to Jamaica, and you're connecting through Miami. So I would then go to, if my flight's delayed out of Charlotte, like I'm sitting in the airport, weather's bad, I'm going to miss the flight, or for whatever reason the flight's not going to take off, I need to now find an alternate route to Jamaica. I will go on my phone. I'll go to Google Flights. That's the best hack out there, is Google Flights. You can search by airline, and you can search a starting point and an ending point. So I'll search American Airlines, put in my ending point as Jamaica, and I'll look at every single possible route out there to get me to Jamaica, and then I'll offer that up, or at least ask, say, hey, I noticed there's a 4 o'clock flight here. Since my flight's not going to take off, can you slide me in on that? What can you do for me there? And almost present a solution so that the gate agent doesn't have to do as much research and looking for you, because everything's on your phone. Like literally any airline, you can look on Google Flights from any airport, and you can find the next most convenient route and go ahead and ask and see if that's available. And a lot of times airlines will work with you. So that's your best bet to kind of not really gaming the system, but be nice and just come with a potential solution, and your conversation with the gate agent will go a lot smoother. And I feel so bad for them, because, listen, flying and traveling can be stressful, whether you're doing it for work or pleasure. Airports are busy. You're usually rushing. You got everything packed up. You're stressed out because now you don't know when you're going to get to your destination. And a lot of that rolls, unfortunately, onto the gate agent's shoulders whenever there's an issue. And I just want you to know, 99.9% of the time, the gate agents can't control the situation that's going on. All they can do is help you out of it. So totally want everyone to just give them a little more extra love, and it'll go a long way typically. Now, I'm not saying they're going to give you whatever, let's just say that flight you really want to be on is not available. They can't just wave a magic wand, but chances are they can really help you. So, that's, and I've been in these situations a ton, and I sit back and I just see sometimes how nasty people can be, and I'm like, gosh, it's so cold to just be mean to the poor gate attendant. They didn't cause the weather to be how it is. So just a know before you go travel tip: the gate agents always have a little more power than you probably think, and they can definitely be your hero or a zero if you're mean to them when you're looking to have your flight changed. So that's kind of an interesting take that I have on the situation. It's paid off for me. It's always worked out for me. I've been upgraded before. Like, I've been super nice, and my flight's been delayed, and I'm going to miss my flight or my flight gets canceled, and I go to get on a different flight, and then I'll just be overly nice to them. Just try to make them smile that day, and it got me a first class ticket. Just because I was super nice, and I didn't do anything else. I didn't pay anything extra. It was which I think it was out of like maybe Southwest Arkansas Airport. Maybe it was that one. One of them, but yeah, you never know what you can get, and that shows the power those gate agents have. And speaking of flights, interesting. So the Points Guy, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Points Guy. That is the blog, thepointsguy.com. And what he's done is he put together a really nice website here. Has been doing it for a while, and what he does is he ranks credit card point systems and perks. So he kind of has it down to a science on which credit card has the best perks. And what he does every year is he because a lot of these airline companies have credit cards, I have an American Airlines credit card. He also will talk about airports and flying and things in general. So he just released his 2019 list, the best and worst airports of 2019. And I thought it was cool to just come in here and see if I can poke holes into this thing. Not really poke holes, but have some comments and share some thoughts on it. Number one airport in the United States, and this is ranked on, is it easy to get in and out of and commute to? What are the restaurants and lounges like? How's the quality of the food? And, do they take off and land on time like they say? So it's kind of a blended index of all of those is how he ranks them. But your number one overall airport in the United States, and if I had a drum roll here, I'd play it, but I don't. San Diego. So shout out San Diego. Phoenix comes in at number 2. Portland at number 3. Atlanta, number 4. A little surprised by that because especially the commute there is not easy. And then Sacramento, number 5. So a lot of the West Coast airports coming in high here. And then rounding out the top 10 here, you have Seattle, number 6. San Fran, number 7. San Jose, number 8. Indianapolis coming in at number 9. I've flown in and out of there a couple times. And then John Wayne Airport at number 10. West Coast holding it down here for the best airports. Us East Coast airports need to learn a little something here. I mean, we're not much on here. I mean, Atlanta's really the main one here representing on the East Coast. I guess you can consider Indianapolis East Coast. Top 5 for amenities. So this is pretty cool. John F. Kennedy. This is what happens when you're doing a show by yourself. John F. Kennedy International Airport coming in at number 1. Number 2, Dallas. That's an airport I frequent a ton for. Now, this is for amenities. This is your top 5 amenities. This is lounge, restaurants, quality of life, and sustainability. So shout out Dallas coming in at number 2, San Fran number 3, Newark number 4, and LAX number 5. LAX, the new international terminal is helping that score because LAX is so busy. For me, it's really difficult to get in and out of, and it's just so hectic. Like, I'm a little surprised, but for amenities, pure amenities, I can see it. Top 5 commute, one of my favorite airports making the list, Charlotte. Charlotte is number 3 on the top 5 list for commutes. San Diego came in at number 1. Phoenix, number 2. Charlotte, number 3. Ronald Reagan, number 4. And Sacramento, number 5. Now, here's what everybody cares about. Your top 5 on-time flights. Let's see. Think about that. Like, which airports are your least likely to get delayed at? Portland, number 1. Hawaii, number 2, or Honolulu. Seattle, number 3. Seattle's making a lot of lists. Very good, Seattle. San Jose, number 4, and Salt Lake City, number 5. So very cool. Now let's get to the worst airports. Like everyone, we can sit here and talk all day about the best and what has the nicest restaurants or lounges and blah blah blah. But let's go to the worst. Now, this list, the points guy, he only has ranked the top 50. So he took the top 50, and I guess he did the top 50 busiest airports in the United States, and that's what he ranked. So if you have these small airports, like these little, almost like boutique airports, they didn't make the list. So because I've been to a lot of nice, like neat little ones, but yeah, like some of these airports with 4 gates, like 4 or not 4 gates. Yeah, literally no 4 gates. Yeah, you have some airports with like 1, 2, 3, or 4 gates. They're not going to make this list. Number 50 here, the worst ranked airport according to the points guy. And I do not listen. I love the city. This is one of my favorite cities in the United States of America. One of my top. I mean, this is in my top 3 favorite cities to go to. And we just went earlier this year. Like I went to just go hang out. Chicago Midway International Airport comes in at number 50. Now, I'll be honest. I'm surprised Midway's number 50 because O'Hare is where I have the most beef. I just am delayed all the time in O'Hare. I don't know what it is. It's probably luck. It's or bad luck, but I'm always delayed out of O'Hare. Now O'Hare does have decent restaurants, but the O'Hare itself is an older building in my opinion. A lot of it needs to be updated. It's extremely busy. And for whatever reason, the hallways are extremely thin in O'Hare, at least from my perspective. And so when you have so many people going in and out of these planes and back and forth in and out of the airport, it just feels extremely crowded. They do have some really cool wine bars, though. But yeah, Chicago, I just try to avoid Chicago altogether. Unless I'm going there to enjoy the city, which I've done before, I'm going to avoid connecting through Chicago. I don't know if it's the weather in the winter I just don't know. That's my one airport I always have issues with. Rounding out here, the bottom 50, Southwest Florida International Airport, RSW, comes in at 46. Detroit, 47. Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport, 48. And Orlando, 49. Now, I got a little beef with Orlando, too. I can see why they're down here. My biggest heartache with Orlando, and I believe, if I remember, I frequent airports too much, so they do blend together. But I believe Orlando is the airport that you where you get your tickets. So you go through ticketing and you go through security. They have all these restaurants. It's almost like a mall. They have like a food court. It's really nice in this main area. The problem is to get to your gate, no matter what gate you're at, you have to take a monorail. So you go through security and you go through ticketing. You can't just walk to your gate. You have to go get on a monorail and then go to your gate. And I don't know why it's like that. I guess like the main area is more convenient or less convenient to the actual runway. But that just annoys me. I don't like the monorails. It's flu season. I don't like to get on them. Yeah, it's so close to everybody. I'm not a fan of it. Like even in Atlanta, where like the monorails, like the like the little train they have underneath the airport, it's like the most convenient thing to do to get to and from your gates. I just can't stand it because I don't want to. I'm a germaphobe. I carry hand sanitizer, and when I'm in the airports, I'm sanitizing the heck out of my hands, literally all the time, because it's just it touching everything, and there's just so many people there, especially during flu season. I just don't even risk it. Now, we're getting off on a tangent here, but know before you go travel tip 2, if you're going to fly a lot. The dirtiest part of the plane, in my opinion, is not the lavatory. It's not the seat belt. It's not even the handles on the seats. It is the tray table. I have got a keen sense that they're not cleaning the tray tables that often. I think they just give them a quick wipe down, especially in between flights, because it just would be too much to literally open up every tray table and wipe down. What I do, though, is if I do have to release my tray table, I will get out my hand sanitizer, and I'll get a napkin from the flight attendant. They always give you a napkin with your beverage. And I'll squeeze hand sanitizer all over that napkin, and I'll sanitize the table myself. So invest, and I call that an investment. Invest in a 3-ounce bottle of Purell or some sort of hand sanitizer, because it just, for me and for people like me that just are overly concerned with germs, you'll have a peace of mind. You'll have a peace of mind because you're sitting there on the airport, you're sitting there in the airplane, and you hear everyone hacking and coughing, and it's disgusting. And listen, I get it. We're all human. Everyone, you have to do it. If you got to cough, you got to cough. But for some reason, I just notice it more when I'm in an airplane. And it's just, you just hear people got the sniffles and they're hacking and coughing. You're just like, oh, geez. You know what I mean? So it just makes me want to just sanitize the whole freaking thing. But you can't do that. You got to work with what you got. So invest in some Purell, and stay sanitized this flu season, I guess, if you're traveling. But yeah, oh wow, look at this. Been talking for 20 minutes. So that's the show. Janet will be impressed by this one. If this becomes our highest ranked show, then I might have to ask her to not be on the show as frequently. But anyways, I hope everyone's getting ready for Christmas. Christmas is right around the corner. Halloween comes and goes, and then Thanksgiving comes and goes, and now here we are already at Christmas. The year's winding down. 2019 has been a great year. I'm sure we'll do some fun little recap episode or video or something. And I really hope Janet's having a blast in Turks. Super honored to get that award, and we will post a few pictures on our Facebook. But I appreciate your ear. If you made it through all 20 minutes of just me rambling on, awesome. I hope I delivered a little value. Like I say, I fly so often that I've got these little tips and tricks that I like to use, whether it be my hand sanitizer hack or whether it be how to handle having your flight delayed or canceled. I hope I brought you guys a little bit of value, and I was a little tiny vacation for your earbuds in your busy week. But anyways, hope you guys have a great week out there. Hope everyone's preparing for Christmas, getting their Christmas shopping done. I personally am more and more in love with Amazon every year. It makes Christmas shopping so simple. And Amazon's not a sponsor or anything. It's so convenient. Literally nowadays, kids can make I didn't know this. Kids can make a wish list on Amazon. So, like, if you have, like, a niece or nephew, they have, like, a wish list on there. So if someone else got them a gift that they want, or exactly what they want. It makes gifting very simple. And, kids love Christmas because they like to open stuff up. But yeah, it kind of helps you if you're like me and you're super busy and you need something that your family member would love, but, everyone has those family members that are tough to shop for. If you had a list, it's super helpful. So anyways, but hope you guys have a great week. We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions on anything, hit us up at penyaktravel.com. There's a big request a quote button. It puts you right in touch with us. Or you can go to Instagram at Penyak Travel or Facebook at Penyak Travel and check us out there. So anyways, love you guys. Hope you guys have a great week. And our next show, I'm sure I will have Janet back in studio. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.